Rabbits aren't exactly Roy's bag. This is the Science Fiction Rating System, the podcast that aims to rank every science fiction film from 1 to infinity. I am one of your hosts, Sam Draper, and I am joined, as ever, by Chris Redding.
Hello.
How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, good. I went to Disneyland.
Went to Disneyland. I'll hold that thought. Alex Humphrey's here too.
Hello. Happy Easter, everyone.
Oh yeah, Happy Easter.
Yeah.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. It's a Disneyland.
I went to Disneyland, yeah.
When?
Yeah.
In LA.
A week ago, yeah.
Was it good?
I'd never been to the original before. It's great.
Is Star Tours still going?
Yeah.
Nice.
But they had this huge, exhibition about the new Star Wars land they're building out the back. You can see it. It's it's huge.
Wow.
But they had a big just an expo about that. It was wicked. Yeah.
Nice.
I bought a Star Tours. You know the vehicle that you fly in Star Tours.
Yeah.
I've got a model of one of them.
Nice.
And I spent lots of money in the Star Wars shop.
You should post pictures of all of the stuff you bought on Instagram.
Your
for
merch,
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Show us your merch. Get your merch out.
Good times.
So you're back from LA now. And,
back from LA.
Regular listeners will know that at the end of last episode, Chris said he's going to tell everyone about the podcast and get lots of lists.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I've just queued that up.
Right.
You also promised a rabbits quiz as well.
You know that. Yeah. You know that evening when I said, "Oh, I'm going to go out to something, and there's going to be probably someone there who will."
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
Oh God, I thought you were joking when you messaged that. No, it really was him.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one though.
So
and it was his birthday as well.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he just wasn't very talkative. So I wasn't asking him his favourite sci-fi film probably wouldn't have gone down very well.
No. Okay.
No. But I could probably guess what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll save that for the SFRS.
Yeah.
Or SX.
Yeah, a little bit of shitty stardust there for you.
Yeah, if I've got the button working, I'll do it now. The little ding next time.
Next time. Soundboard coming.
Soundboard,
yeah.
There's a soundboard on the way to make it even more like Zoo Radio. That's a kind of that's basically Endgame, isn't it? We'll get onto some sort of terrible talk radio station and just talk shit all day. That's what I'd like to do.
Ooh.
Yeah, be nice, wouldn't it?
We'd get callers then.
Yeah, I'd just take calls.
We'd be able to live like Frasier. That'd be the dream.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be the dream.
That will be the dream. I don't think with our relationship we're going to be getting to Frasier levels of.
Who knows? We can dream.
One day, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get down to business. So, as it's Easter, we scrabbled around to find 3 films that had rabbits in them.
Yeah.
And we got there, and we watched them. So let's rate and rank those films. First of all, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The Robert Zemeckis film from... I've just closed all my tabs. It's a bit annoying. Hang on.
1988.
Thank you. So...
It's 1 hour, 44 minutes.
Very good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It felt a lot longer.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel long. Not in a bad way, but it does feel long.
So I've not seen this in a long time. You two not watched it recently, I'm guessing?
Long time,
no, really long.
It's one of them ones where you forget it exists.
Yeah.
But did you find as you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember all of this now.
Yeah.
It all came back. Must have watched it an awful lot at the time.
Yeah.
Well, the feeling of it, more like the colour and the feeling of scenes.
Yeah.
Like, there's some quite iconic scenes in there, I think, actually.
Definitely. It's and really it holds up quite well, doesn't it? Some of the effects, some of them not so much, but the idea of it holds together quite well.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what did you think of Roger Rabbit on this viewing?
I say there's moments which I really enjoy. I enjoy like the bad guy. Them weasel things are really disturbing. And also, I found the road where you drive into Toontown a week ago.
Oh,
did you?
Real road.
The
that's cool.
The tunnel.
The tunnel. Yeah.
Very well. Is that the same tunnel from Back to the Future?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's like by Mulholland Drive. It's that sort of area. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying.
Now that's a good film.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it. I think the story is quite cool, but it's quite. I'm not sure what is the target audience for this.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Really, that's the weirdness of this film. Who is the target audience?
Yeah.
Because it's a very strange casting as a lead.
Definitely.
I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other movies where he led a film
Mario
like
Brothers.
this. Can you? Mario
Long
Brothers.
Good Friday.
Yeah, that was a
Longer Friday, less like Roger Rabbit than Brothers, isn't it? Really, but
similar,
Buster.
similar subject matter.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was particularly groundbreaking technically either.
Oh, I think it
This
was.
had been
I think it is,
done
isn't it?
before, right? I think it was just labour intensive. I don't think it was particularly technologically advanced, if you know what I mean.
yeah, it's the scale of it, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in general for this film. I mean, I wouldn't have even thought of it as a science fiction film.
Well, funny you should say that because we've got to invoke the Poppins Clause, which is a new clause. My dad pointed out to me that if we put Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the list, we're opening up ourselves to a can of worms. It includes watching Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah.
And so I think on further reflection...
And what is the argument? Why?
Because it's not...
Why was this? Why did we review this?
Well,
because we needed rabbit films.
It's got a
We
rabbit
needed
in
3 rabbit films.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I do think the guy that wrote the original book was a science fiction writer who gave up on sci-fi and wrote this. It's tenuous as well. But I think it's kind of the idea of, like, it kind of had that, like, alienation kind of, you know, two cultures clashing in this world. You know, it was a...
So the thing I came down on when I was thinking about it was, if at some point they explained how these were birthed out of the real or something like that,
I guess
that would be science fiction.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's no
I guess
explanation
there's
for
that
it.
like
It's fantasy.
liquid. In
No, it is
isn't there?
fantasy. It is fantasy.
There's some science in there.
There's a bit of science, but there's not. Their existence isn't explained at all, is it?
No.
Or
No,
it's a
just
fantasy
an
existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll give it our thoughts, but yeah, disqualified.
We are officially disqualified.
Well, I guess it's like in it. Yeah, I guess it's sort of it's fantasy because it is. You have to accept that there's certain laws of physics of tunes, like an anvil dropping on your head, is. Yeah.
I think you. Yeah, it's that they don't explain it. That's what the difference is. I think if there was an in-universe explanation for what is going on, no matter how tenuous, that would let us rank it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like say that one animated one, was doing it late one night, and the thing popped out of it because he put it through a secret formula or something, and they coated the real in something weird that made the things real.
Yeah.
But it's not that, is it? It's just accepted that tunes are this thing that exists near Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're out, Roger Rabbit.
You're out, Roger Rabbit.
But before we move on from it, Alex, did you enjoy Roger Rabbit?
No, I did enjoy it. Yeah, and I'd kind of forgotten how, like, when I watched it when I was a lot younger, it was kind of mind-blowing to me to have, like, Disney and Warner Brothers in one film together and all these characters. Like, you get that in... I know. Well, I mean, I'm sure Ready Player One, sorry to say it, kind of tries to do that. But, I mean, the last thing I could think of that did that was Lego Batman, when they brought in all the random things in that, and it's like, what the hell? It's like a kind of insane crossover. And I really like that. I mean, on this viewing, I kind of found there to be quite a lot of parallels you could make between the treatment of the Toons and kind of quite a heavy kind of racism kind of line, which I found interesting, the whole kind of club where they're allowed to work but they're not allowed to drink, and the way, even just down to kind of Jessica Rabbit, the really famous line of, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way, that is like a kind of prejudice. Everyone thinks she's the kind of, femme fatale just because she looks like that. She didn't do anything actually that bad. It's got like quite interesting elements to it, but I totally agree with Chris. I don't know who it's aimed at, because I'm sure I did watch it as a kid and I enjoyed it, but there's a lot of quite adult humour in there and kind of adult subject matters in there. Yeah. And, the judge Oh, is that a cat? Wow, it's like normally you have a go at me about the dog, but this time it's a cat.
Hang on. Carry on, I'll move her.
No, we can just stick to this.
Alright, we'll see if she shuts up. Carry on.
Well, no, all I was going to say, the Judge Doom scene I still found quite disturbing. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty horrible. And when he starts using that horrible voice and he's like... It's a really good performance, I think.
Just give me a second, I'm just going to get rid of this cat. Hang on. Come on.
I think his performance is brilliant.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
I read that he said he compared it to him being in Star Trek. That it was just this kind of villain that he just really enjoyed playing, and it's just like kind of a ridiculous villain. But I think I think it proves what a good actor he is. I think he's often not thought of as a great actor, but I think this totally proves he's got a lot more range than probably people think.
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins is struggling now, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem as suited to it.
No, did you?
Like a lot of his zingers, you can just almost see the script floating in front of his face, can't you? When he reads some of the things out.
Did you read that Zemeckis and Spielberg wanted Bill Murray?
Yes, yeah.
And when Bill Murray found out, he found out via reading it in an article years later, and he said he was in public, but he just screamed because he would have absolutely said he wanted to do it. He's really gutted that they didn't. I think with Bill Murray, this would be a much better film.
It'd be a very different film, wouldn't it?
Have a lot more edge, be a lot less child-friendly, but it'd be really good. He could have done it, I think, definitely.
Yeah, so the child-friendly thing is weird because, I mean, I'm sort of on the same page as you two. I kind of had things to enjoy, but it wasn't. It's all right, isn't it? It's a mess, really.
Yeah.
But that's because of the troubles of making it, I think, is that they had to keep... The budget kept getting slashed, and they had to keep changing their mind about how they did it to make it more family-friendly, didn't they? To make Disney more happy about it.
Yeah.
And I think also... Did you read about how the only way they got them to agree to put Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny was on the same film, they had to have the exact same number of lines.
Oh, God. Okay.
And also Daffy and Donald. That's why they're all in the same scenes. And anything you'll notice, and when I read that... if you notice it, one will speak, other one will speak, and they all have exactly the same number of words, which is, things like that.
Yeah, it limits the creativity that they could have
totally
had.
hamstrung it. But yeah, I think, and I know they're trying to make a sequel for years and years and years, but I think really it wouldn't work past then because, like you said, Lego Batman's done it. Like this whole, now that basically there are, there's Disney and, well, that's it, isn't it now? Disney, and Apple, I suppose.
All owned by the same thing.
Exactly.
Now, anyway,
so things like this can happen all the time, can't they? It's not as exciting or weird as it was back then. Or like in Back to the Future when Jaws 18 pops up in Back to the Future 2. That's the thing that was like, oh shit, But now it's not got the same effect, has it? Unfortunately, but
no, not really. Did you read as well that the guy that did the voice did it all on set? He dressed in a giant outfit like Roger Rabbit and was on set and just delivering the lines. And every time they would rap, all the people from the other films on the lot would be like, "Oh, that Roger Rabbit, it's got terrible effects. Look how bad it is." Because they just assumed it was just going to be the bloke in a suit. But the Bob Hoskins said the guy was a bit mental.
He's so fucking annoying after a while, isn't he?
Who is it? It was Charles Fleischer.
It was the first Jar Jar Binks of its...
He is a bit like that, isn't he? Yeah. He pushes it to the edge of being kind of funny, but
I think George Lucas has
taken it.
Has watched this and taken it.
Yeah. That taxi's really annoying as well. The taxi starts driving around in it. They don't fucking shut up. They just keep talking.
I like the gun though. I love that gun with the kind of cowboy bullets. I love that. It's some really good ideas in it. It's got some great ideas of its own. But yeah, like you say, it can't find its tone. It can't find its audience very well.
No, it's very confused, isn't it? Oh well, we aren't going to rank it anyway. So
thank you for helping us out in a tight spot, though, Roger Rabbit. Thank you for Easter.
Yeah. So DQ. I have to have a sound effect for that. Wow. the sound effect when you're losing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We put that in there.
Yeah.
I told you we should have done the Matrix.
No, it's too tenuous. Also, we've already got that lined up in a future week, so we couldn't put that from there anyway. Right, let's have a quick break and return with some proper-ish science fiction. is our second film of the day from 1972, Night of the Lepus.
What a movie.
Yeah.
Film that I don't think we knew much about. Of you, Alex, maybe.
No, I'd heard of it in kind of tones of but never ever seen it. No. Yeah.
So I guess I'll start on this one. Dr. McCoy is in it.
Yep.
This is probably one of the strangest films I've ever watched, because it's one of those sort of, so bad it's good films, but it's not that bad or that good, is it? It's like one of those cult horror films that is almost cult, but you can see why people don't rewatch this one, because it's just... It's very... I think it starts strong. I like the fact it opens up with that little monologue of that guy explaining how rabbits have gone to Australia. And Australians are like absolutely terrified of these rabbits.
Yeah, that's great.
You've got to watch out for it.
Yeah.
But such a strange film. And it does all right until it gets to the point of showing the killer rabbits. And it's just a close-up on some rabbits with a bit of like porridge on their face, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really, really poor film.
They can't make them scary. As much as they put those weird growling noises and they go really close on their teeth, and they kind of got a bit of like gob, and like they're a bit kind of dribbling a bit, aren't they? And but they're just not scary. They're just not scary.
Out of all the animals,
I know. Yeah, because if
you think they just had a load of rabbits lying around and they thought, we're gonna have to use these.
I don't know.
It's based on a story, like an Australian story, which was written because there were loads of rabbits going crazy over there. I think the science fiction novel there was written on the actual, based on the hysteria of rabbits in Australia.
It's toads at the moment. Big toad problem.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I've had that for many years, haven't they? The cane toads, yeah.
Cane toad, yeah.
I've got
Year of the Angry Rabbit. That was the film.
Yeah, and it's
the book. Sorry.
The film removed many aspects of the novel as the plot focused on Australia dominating the world with a super weapon inadvertently created through the rabbits. So there you go.
That sounds much better. That sounds way more exciting.
Yeah, the pulp narrative was played for laughs and designed as an indictment of war, nationalism and capitalism. And it kind of spawned a little revival of Australian science fiction. But obviously this film wasn't a joke. It was that was kind of one of the problems, wasn't it? It was just everyone was so serious. A bit too serious.
Do you think it was like aimed at sort of like Middle America, sort of Southern America, like Texas, those sort of states where people who were perhaps a bit not used to films yet and were perhaps terrorised by rabbits a little bit, playing on there,
and who had lots of guns.
Lots of guns. You think of the characters in it; they're all like sort of hick-like characters, aren't they?
It's kind of honest guys just trying to get by in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's one of
these rabbits. And...
I mean, it's pretty extremely.
I don't share the same thoughts as.
No,
I'll just say that. No.
It's pretty extremely anti-science, isn't it? I mean, like hardcore anti-science. They never try and. Because they use science because they don't want to just blow them up and poison them. But then as soon as they turn them into mutants, they don't try and find a scientific way to solve it, do they? They just go, oh, well, we better blow them up again and
it's almost two films in the way that it sort of builds up a bit. And they go to that scientist in the wheelchair and things like that. And that guy is like, what is the main guy's job? Like random, like...
Yeah, when he's got the bats in a cage, he just shakes them a bit to get them to make a noise, doesn't he?
Is he like an actual pet detective? Is that his job?
I don't know what they do.
No. He's on the move, isn't he? The rest of them are all ranchers, but he seems to be like he's coming to town to fix it.
Well, he's like the Richard, the Dreyfuss character in
Jaws,
right?
Yeah, he's the vet, I suppose. Yeah. But once he's gone to the scientist, then it's just like, too late to do anything about it now. Kill him, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, all it gave us
like a Michael Crichton story.
Yeah, but like a crap one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The only bit that I did like, really, was when they organised a convoy to catch the rabbits.
Yeah, when they go to the drive-in.
And he's like, attention, we have a rabbit problem. We need your help. It's
like, I'd love someone to film, like, almost like, just do a short film of just some people out at a drive-in, like, oh, you're enjoying the film?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that cop doing up there? What was that?
Yeah.
They need some help destroying some giant rabbits. Oh, I'll drive and help them. And they don't. They line them up. They're like, oh, don't move your car because the rabbits are running towards you.
Everyone's straight into it.
Yeah. Who would do that? Like,
it's almost like they're expecting it as well, because they're just like, of course we'll mobilise this night of the Lepus. I'm straight there.
Yeah.
Here's the quote. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, attention. There is a herd of killer rabbits headed this way, and we desperately need your help.
Yeah. Oh,
Brilliant.
cool. Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
call to
I'll take
action.
my family that I just came to the drive-in with to stop these killer rabbits, of course, that I've never heard of. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's if they had the birds makes birds scary, and there's this film called Squirm, which is about worms, which makes worms scary somehow. It's just horrible. It's just really gory. But this does not make rabbits scary. If it had achieved making rabbits scary, that would be it'd be a masterpiece. But it just fails. And when you get, I was never. There was not one model that I was convinced by. It always just looked like rabbits.
Yeah.
Like some weird rabbit person had built a little town for their rabbits to run around. It's like you've gone around a mate's house and he's gone, oh, come down to my cellar. I've got something to show you. Look, those rabbits I got. Look what I built them. It was just a bit like that, wasn't it? And then when they get mauled, the people get mauled.
Just very strange.
It was just a person it looked like a big teddy bear, didn't it? It was just a person in a suit and a lot of ketchup.
The were-rabbit.
Yeah, it was like a were-rabbit, basically. Yeah.
I'd like to re-watch that Wallace and Gromit film and see whether they've nicked any gags from it or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
Maybe. Who knows?
Chris, did the arrival of Dr. McCoy not save this film for you?
Nearly, but he didn't save the first episode of The Next Generation, so...
That's true. Yeah.
And he was actually Dr. McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is post-Star Trek, isn't it? So you can see why they all turned back up for motion picture, can't you? Because if this is where his career had gone
God, yeah.
after that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you
Poor bloke.
Is it the first episode he's in? Of that?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
He's in one of the early ones.
No, is it a counter at Firepoint? Yeah, it's on the station. They meet him in the alley. He's really weirdly like
Yeah, like a real southern accent.
he's like pushy.
really hick. Yeah.
Like, touches people a lot.
He's an arsehole.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah.
Did you read that Janet Leigh only took the role because it was shot near her home, and it meant she didn't have to have time away from her family?
Yeah.
Good reason.
Yeah, and she also said, "I've forgotten as much as I could about that picture." That's her quote.
Do you know they also wanted to have Jamie Lee Curtis and the other one, I can't remember the one's name in it. Her daughters,
Oh yeah.
but she was like, "No, it's too scary for them."
Well, that's ironic. On many counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird film, and yeah, I agree. It's not funny enough. It's not ridiculous enough, really, is it? Like, if they just played a few of the scenes for laughs, then it would work better. But it's just
Well, I don't know,
It's an interesting era, though, isn't it? Like, you could just make anything back then. It's fucking mad.
It's classic pre-Jaws horror, isn't it? As
Yeah.
well, before Spielberg works out how to do this sort of film.
Yeah.
and everyone rips him off. It is like, as you say, like it's a free fall, isn't it? People trying all sorts of stuff to make these crossover. Well, I guess this would have been an X, wouldn't it, when it came out, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
But it's just that weird. You're right. So every film you watch in this series is going to have something different going on, isn't it? There's no one's decided on the rules of it yet, have they?
The language hasn't been invented, really.
No, that's it. Yeah, the language of the film. Yeah,
In some ways, that makes it really interesting, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Apart
totally.
from just that there's science, there's a problem and science comes in and it darn well mucks it all up, so we have to get our guns and sort it out. Like there's a lot of that. The theme of that is quite a strong, it's quite a strong
I
theme.
think the problem with it, I suppose, as well, is that like academically it would be interesting if it wasn't so like academically poor, isn't it? Like it's not exactly. There's nothing exciting going in the direction or cinematography, anything really, is it? Or the acting or anything. It's just a very
I think the guy I read as well. The director did a lot of westerns, so he couldn't really. He knew the language of a western, but not really of a horror, and that is a problem. I think the pacing of it maybe.
Well, westerns had a very strange way about them as well back then.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, I don't know, was cinema going more? I think it was more common back then, as far as it was more throwaway.
Yeah.
I think
it's trying to make a buck, aren't they? Oh, it's a funny gimmick, that'll do.
Yeah, well, it's, the same summer, Frogs came out, which do you know that one, Alex? You seen that
No,
one?
I've heard of that as well. Yeah,
I'll just drop the. I've got it here. The image, the logo. Into
Wait till Frog Week.
Frog Week.
Frog Week, yeah.
Yeah, Amphibian Week.
Just put the poster into the Discord channel so you can see the Picture of Frogs. This is the same summer.
Oh, wow. That's the...
Oh, yeah.
If you're squeamish, stay home. Cold green skin against soft warm flesh. A croak, a scream. Frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah, it's the day that nature strikes back. So, yeah, obviously at this time people were thinking of any animal they could and thinking, yeah, let's make a horror film out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Is there a film that kicks this off, Alex? Do you know a horror film that is the result? Is it Birds or is it
Nature Cycle? Yeah, I would say Birds was the one that was successful, and it kind of, yeah, the idea of just something randomly happening in nature. Yeah, I would say Birds. Yeah, it must be. Good old Hitchcock. He invented everything.
Yeah. I've got on Tentacles here as well. That's a bit later that.
Tentacles?
Yeah.
That sounds...
Empire of the Ants.
Oh.
Kingdom of the Spiders. There's loads of them.
Kingdom of the Spiders. Was it a sequel to Empire of the Ants? Was there Principality of the Tarantulas?
We should do a Spider Week.
Ooh. Oh, God, you have to admit, I hate spiders. That'd be horrible.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia.
Big Ass Spider. There's a film called that.
Big Ass Spider, yeah.
Yeah. It's not very good.
Right, let's rank this, because this wasn't very good either. I'm going to say this is proper, like, shit tier, isn't it, really? I think
proper shit tier.
I think I'm going to say 80. So below everything except Scanner Darkly and Lawnmower Man.
Oh.
Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
Alex?
Nah, like...
You think it was better than...
75. I think it's under Thunderbirds. I think The Colony was worse. Like... The Colony was bad. Divergent was so manipulative as well. Like,
what was The Colony?
That was the one with the Lawrence Fishburne. That was Ice Week.
Oh, the Ice one, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, where would you put it?
I would probably not put it that low.
Ooh.
Oh,
because it is what it is. It's from the 70s. It's a different era. You know, I don't want to, like, put it in a bonfire like I do a Scanner Darkly. I'd put it like 69, something like that. Yeah.
So above The Martian.
Above The Martian.
Yeah, no, I'm all right with that. Actually, I hate
You know
The
what I mean?
Martian so
Because
much.
it's like, it is what it is. It's a different era. It's before language of this sort was, you know,
Yeah. I
suppose.
you can see things like, Journey to the Centre of the Earth. We saw another one like this a while. What was that? Oh, like The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot like that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess, like, I suppose below The Martian, there's films that are failing at what they're trying to do, aren't they?
They're
Whereas this
actively
is-
offensive. Those films below there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
I'll take
line.
69.
The Martian draws a line as far as
Yeah.
Actively offensive. Right, Night of the Lepus, joins the list at 69, which is a lot higher than I thought. But yeah,
We've just split Ridley Scott into
Yeah.
we have. Yeah, he's what one was going above it? Oh, Prometheus.
He'd be simultaneously like happy and sad because one of his films is better than Night of the Lepus, one is worse.
No,
Maybe he should rent Night of the Lepus and he might learn something.
Yeah, Ridley, we're calling you out again.
he'd probably remake it. He's making endless films, isn't he? He only remakes his own films, doesn't he? Actually, these days.
Yeah.
So. Also, if you saw this list, he'd just be like the top 5 is Alien, Prometheus,
Yeah.
The Martian, Blade Runner, etc. Right, one more film to go, and that's Donnie Darko after the break. We're back with our final film of the day. From 2001, it's Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko. So, who's not gone first? Alex.
Oh,
Alex.
sure. Well, it was a director's cut, wasn't it? We watched of this,
Yes.
and like it's weird because I'm sure it's 20 minutes different, but to me it felt like the same film. Like I thought.
There's one
different
reason
about it?
There's one thing in particular I wanted to watch it for was the scene where she says that he's on placebos, the doctor.
Oh.
That's not the original film.
Oh,
And
that's
for me,
really interesting.
That's a crucial bit of it in a way.
Well, that is that is quite a huge thing, really, isn't it?
The only other major change is a bad change that they changed the song at the start. You know, they play in excess. It was Echo and the Bunnymen, the original version, which is a much better song, Killing the Moon. But apart from that, there's an extra scene with Drew Barrymore in it, I think, and a couple of extra bits with his parents. But the only main bit, anyway, is that scene where she says, "You're on placebos," so you know.
Well, no, that is important. No, and I remember liking this when I saw it, and I was a bit worried about watching it again because was I like in a heady, like, you know, I was a lot nearer to the age this film is aimed at, and now I'm a lot further away. But I thought it really, really worked. I thought it was still really good. I think it's just the right amount of kind of teenage angst in there to me. It didn't tip over the edge for me. I liked the science fiction element. I think a lot of stories, there are a lot of films that set up a story like this and then they don't deliver at the end. And I think this does deliver. I think it makes sense. I don't think it's too ridiculous. I quite like that you have the Grandma Death's book, the pages of the book that kind of try and explain it to you a bit. And if you do take time to read it and think about it, it does kind of guide you through what's happening. I thought the soundtrack was really, really good. And I think his performance is really good. I think he's again, like, he's just the right amount of angsty. He doesn't slip into like, oh, I'm just so cool. He's not a cool character. He is pretty fucked up, and it is a bit of a fucked up film. And also, I mean, that the Frank, the costume, that is, they managed to create an iconic costume with that, and it's quite hard, especially within horror, even in science fiction, to create something that iconic that then lives on from that point, and that totally does. So no, actually, I was quite happy. It lived up, And I even, in the end, when you hear that cover of Mad World, I was like, yeah, this is actually quite a good song. I thought I wouldn't think that. It works really well, doesn't it? Yeah, I was like, it's been so many years now, I don't hate that song.
Was that like a number one for like
ever.
Christmas?
Forever.
Yeah. It's massive. Cool, Chris.
I really liked it. I liked it. It had just the right sort of. It seemed more televisual in its look than what I remember. I don't think it was as cinematic as what I remember.
I think it's very cheaply made, isn't it?
Yeah. But I love that. I love that sort of the way the story is told.
Yeah.
The steps taken to tell it is brilliant. And the feel, just the general feel of it, they really nailed, didn't they? And they've really come up with something of its time as well. That sort of era, you know, that turn of the century was really. It wasn't too angsty, but it was, you know, this is like Dawson's Creek in space.
It's a very coherent sort of feel, isn't it, to it?
Yeah.
You feel like you're living in it, don't you? Very much, yeah.
Yeah. And some great performances.
Yes, definitely.
The rabbit is really well done. You know, quite freaky, quite disturbing. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Positive?
Positive from me.
Cool. Well, I, excuse me, like you, Alex, hadn't seen it in a while. Loved it years ago, and was also like really worried, especially after that trailer.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my god, it's gonna be rough.
Trailer.
But no, I was like, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. As good as it was the first time I saw it, and like ever since, I thought it's constructed really well. The story, as you say, is like really clever and really like pays off in a way that I don't remember it paying off so cleanly.
No,
I guess because I've watched it a few times, so I know I've got it. You know, I know what's going on. But there is such a lovely, clean. Well, it's a loop, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. It works really well. I think that so the nostalgia of it, like obviously being set in the 80s. I remember at the time, like those songs were the songs that I listened to in my dad's car as a kid. You know, like the Tears for Fears, stuff like that. And so there's that nostalgia. Obviously now, 20 years later, there's a nostalgia of being that young, watching it in the early 2000s as well, and of being like, you know, that Jake Gyllenhaal age of thinking like, oh, you know, everything's shit, but I know what's going on. And that was also nice to watch now, thinking like, oh yeah, I remember being like that. I remember thinking like that and being that kind of person, which I thought just only made it better for me, because then you realise Richard Kelly is someone who was my age now when he made that, looking back at himself in the 80s, isn't he?
Yeah.
And capturing it perfectly, and then. So you can see it's kind of working forever, really, because it is so. What it does with that 80s thing, obviously a lot of films now will recycle, especially the 80s, with songs and things like that. And what they do wrong with it, and what is wrong, not to go on this rant again, with modern cinema, is that they overload the references and they overload all that shit. Whereas this, half the soundtrack is ambient music.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The closing song's a cover, admittedly an 80s song, but it's not an 80s song. You've really only got 4 or 5 actual, tracks from the era going on. And they're dropped really well, these like long, lovely panning shots in slow motion of the. I mean, the bit when he first goes to school and the camera like rotates down the hall.
Yeah, that's really
of all
good,
the characters. Like it's so wonderfully
good,
fantastic directing. But those things, because they are pinned to, as I said before, a very convincing world and a convincing story. The nostalgia isn't there to hold it up, is it? It's there as a backdrop to make you remember things, make you feel fuzzy and stuff. And it's just absolutely perfect for me. I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. And in a way I didn't think I would say after that trailer, but I kind of find it hard to find fault with it. Really, I can't think of much wrong that I'd change.
No, not really. Like you're saying, I don't think a modern film would have used Patrick Swayze how that does, because that's quite daring. Because a modern film would just be like, oh hey look, Patrick Swayze from the 80s, ha ha ha. But the fact that he's a paedophile and he has a dungeon where he's been keeping kiddie porn, and that's like, is funny, and then it's really not funny because he's such a like what he's done is so horrible. And it's pretty good performance from him. As it is from a lot
it is
of
actually quite funny as well, isn't it? It's a really smartly written, like the jokes land, don't they?
Yeah.
I laughed out loud quite a few times in it, which I wasn't expecting either.
Yeah. And it balances being tragic with being funny, being kind of it is mild, it is realistic. The family is quite. I like their very dysfunctional family, but they're not ridiculous family. They are quite real in a way. No, there
totally. Like it's a very like having the dad laugh at things and. Yeah, in that scene where he goes, "Oh, sorry, Mum, for being a weirdo," or whatever, and and she says, "Oh, what is it like? Oh, what's it like having a weirdo for a son?" She goes, "Oh, it's fantastic." Yeah, like that scene is something that could be very easily cheesy and awful, couldn't it? But it's so it's played so well. It's acted perfectly, and it's you totally just buy it, don't you? Especially when you realise, and watched it before, what's coming. The fact that really for him, that's his last meaningful interaction with his mum, isn't it? Like, and for her in a way, I suppose, 'cause in that loop of time, it's. Yeah, I was incredibly impressed.
Yeah.
And I think all the better for the fact that it is kind of... I know there's a sequel, as we discussed a bit off air slightly, but it's not...
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing
quite a few years
to do
later.
With it. Yeah.
No, different people involved.
Well,
it's
his sister, isn't it?
It's his sister, yeah. She's like grown up and she's on a road trip as a dancer. It's not even worth talking about because it's not... The guy who directed and wrote this didn't do anything with that film at all, so it's not worth considering. But yeah, I don't know what else to say really other than wonderful.
I can tell you a weird fact.
Go on.
Well out of his teens, Vince Vaughn reportedly turned down the part of Donnie due to his age, and Mark Wahlberg was interested in the part, but apparently was only willing to play it with a lisp. So
what?
Yeah, that's on IMDb. I don't know. Both those things seem made up or ridiculous to me, but I hope they're both true. Can you imagine?
You notice a young was it Seth Rogen, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that was a bit odd. Yeah, the kind of bully. Yeah. Mark Wahlberg with a lisp doing the whole thing. Imagine that. It would. Yeah, wouldn't have worked. But
I went to a cool shop in LA, which had some cool like fan art of Donnie Darko, which was quite cool. But it had like an old photo of an airplane and the rabbit messing around with the engine, like with a panel off.
Yeah,
it's quite good. Yeah, Gallery 1988. Check it out online.
Gallery 1988. Nice.
I bought a really good Wrath of Khan poster.
Nice.
Ooh. Put it on Instagram.
Yeah. Hashtag all this and that.
Yeah. Where is Donnie Darko going to go on our Easter special podcast then?
Personally, I would put this at number 3.
Whoa!
Big words.
Because
Big words.
There's
Big
literally,
words.
and I've had a big think about it.
Yeah.
Aliens is way out ahead of everything.
Yeah.
Then Star Wars 4 is obviously iconic, and I watched it endlessly.
Too high.
But then everything else, good films. Donnie Darko, I want to watch it again now. Like I just want to.
That's how I feel about Wrath of Khan.
Well, that's why it's number 4. Yeah. That's the company I think should keep. Chris, where do you think it should go?
I would put it At number 5.
Oh wow, okay. It's higher than expected,
Yeah.
Alex.
I'd probably put it at number. It's hard. It's a hard one. This. I think it should be in that, but maybe I would probably go a bit lower. I'd probably say maybe like 11.
So below Predator 2 and above Invasion of Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it than Predator 2.
Oh, I love Predator 2 so much though, but but I mean,
I love Predator 2. I love all these films. That top 10, all of them.
but it was very good, and it does really do what it does very well, and you know, it is different to a lot of other things, or the things that are like it fail to achieve it as well as this.
The thing is, with a film like this, and with all those top films where they aren't really doing anything wrong, it is down to personal preference, isn't it? Like, it's playing songs that I like, and it's, you know, Donnie Darko is a character that I can relate to in a lot of ways, you know. So that's why for me, but I can understand why then, you know, because that's why it's tough, isn't it? This level of the list,
Yeah.
where it's not doing anything to offend in a way.
Yeah. Is it better than Starship Troopers?
For me, massively so. Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
It's a difficult one. It was Ghost in the Shell, which... Oh, no, we're going to redo that, aren't we? So
That is good getting done, yeah.
See, I really like Starship Troopers as well.
I'd take below Starship Troopers.
8?
Yeah, I could see it being around that area, really.
Because AI, I love AI, but there were flaws to AI, probably. Whereas you're right, I can't really think of much that was wrong with Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, these will all move up by one number when gets re-reviewed. That's going to...
But then down again when Wally gets in at number 2.
Actually, Wally will take its place, I think. So
So say number 8.
Yeah.
So Donnie Darko enters at number 8.
Wow. That's
Cool, I was really worried I'd have to fight much harder to get that high up the list.
No, it was good. No, it was really good. And you're right, it's time travel's a hard one, and a lot of films get it wrong. So.
Yeah, like Safety Not Guaranteed, which I couldn't help think about, which is a very similar film, isn't it? In a lot of ways, really.
Yeah.
Just a terrible, shitty version of it, but yeah.
No, it's like a dark Back to the Future. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Marty McFly.
Do either of you remember the website that was around when this film came out that had the book on it?
No.
I can't find it. I don't know if I'm misremembering this thing. I mean, I remember reading the book, but I think it's on the DVD, the book, as well.
Oh, I think I did read that. Yeah, the DVD's on the book. Yes, the book's on the DVD. Yeah, I think I read that. Yeah,
perhaps that's where it was. It wasn't a website then. Yeah, what's it called? The chronology of time. Or something?
Yeah.
No, philosophy of time travel. That's it. Yeah. Right. So there are 3 films. Talking of re-rankings, next week. Is it next week you're revealing it, Alex? Is that right?
On the next show, I will reveal my re-ranker so that then we can lock those 3 films in and we can re-rank them in a future date, not too future away.
Yeah, so exciting times. This week's been exciting too. We've invoked the Poppins Clause for the first time and cast Roger Rabbit out of the list. Be gone.
Be gone, Roger.
And then at one end of the list, we've put Night of the Lepus. I'll stop saying Lepus in at number 70. And at number 8, Donnie Darko. So our nice, 3 films a week thing of going up the list has been ruined now, hasn't it? We're going to be on a really weird sort of...
Odd number.
My OCD is going to hate this now going on.
I'm sorry.
So we have to do I'm going to pitch that next week. So I'll be able to fix that. But for now, that's the end. Ignore that.
Yep.
And join us next week. Oh no, first of all, Alex, can you do us a rundown of your list of stuff?
Oh yeah, of course. Email us at sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com if you think Roger Rabbit should actually be in the list. Perhaps.
If you are Roger Rabbit.
Or any of the people involved with it. Our website is www.sciencefictionratingsystem.com, and we're on iTunes, YouTube. No one looks at the YouTube, but it's there.
No, they don't, do they?
No, I think there's
it's hard to find though, isn't it?
Really hard to find.
It sort of shows you how much shit there is on YouTube.
Yeah, who did it though?
I don't know.
Did they just troll us and put it on there, or
no? When Spotify started, it let me click a load of buttons, and I just clicked the whole page. So it might be somewhere else as well. But I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I don't know where we're going to.
Well, we're on YouTube. It's the big thing. Twitter.
We're probably actually owned by Google.
Yeah. We're at SF Rating System on Twitter. Instagram, Science Fiction Rating System, so we can see all those things that Chris has bought. And on Facebook, SF Rating System. So follow, what is it? Rank, follow, rate.
Follow, subscribe, rate. Give us 5 stars. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
And if
Hashtag engagement.
Hashtag engagement. If you are a fan of any like podcast networks, let them know about our work because we're happy to sell ourselves out. For the
hugely.
I don't mind someone else coming in and we read the adverts out. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'd be happy for the help, really. So, come in,
please
save us, please.
Save us.
This is 51 episodes now. Right, brilliant. So we'll join you next week for a. Oh, wait, what is it next week? Creature Feature season is still going.
Creature Feature.
Next week, it's Fishy Tales.
Fishy Tales. Yeah.
I can't wait. Right, I'll see you then. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye.